Let's get a sense of what this means, not only between these two men. You remember the last time this matter got to the headquarters of the party, people were throwing punches, literally in scuffle. A party that is supposed to serve an example of opposition and also serve as a very, very respected way of doing politics have now become the very bad example of what politics should not be. I'm being joined tonight by a former national legal advisor of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Mark Jacobs, who is live with us right here in our studio. It's good to see you, Mark.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, your party looks disturbed, but it's interesting that the BoT is siding Ude Okoye. But one thing that Sam Oyanwu has said continuously, that look, the matter has gone to the Supreme Court. He remains the authentic national secretary of the party. Do you think what the PDP BoT did today was right, to have sided with Ude Okoye?
Let me say from the onset that what we are seeing today is the BoT siding with common sense, siding with decency, and siding with the rule of law. The situation where any officer of the party or member of the party will become so arrogant, so powerful, that he will even call the governor, he will tell governors of the party that their forum is not an organ recognized by the party. Any individual that starts talking like that is a clear example of impunity that has gone beyond any decent lines. So the decision of the BoT today is so sweet because it signals that one, the party wants to obey court orders. Two, the party or the BoT is listening to the voices of those who form the fabric of the party. Because this issue is so elementary, it's so easy to handle that it is a shame that a national secretary of the party elected by members of the party will become so powerful that he will not even listen to the voices of the people.
So let's take it from from the legal point of view. As a lawyer, it was interesting when inviting you. We do know that you're a lawyer, you know the institution very well. You've served as a member of the NWC of the party, so you know the party on both legal grounds and as a political institution. First and foremost, what does the law say and what is the practice? When a matter goes to the appellate court, for example, it goes, this matter has gone to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And the Supreme Court, in the appellate position, will review what the Court of Appeal has said in this matter.
Yes.
Does it naturally mean that that is a stay?
No, not at all. All the decisions of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal are very clear that the mere fact that you have filed an appeal does not operate as a stay of execution of the judgment of the lower court. That is settled. Even in the case of Gongola State against Tussle, that was a Supreme Court decision where they said, no, the mere fact that you have filed an appeal does not make for stay. And
are you aware,
particularly now, when you have a situation where the entire judgment we are talking about is a declaratory judgment, where declarations were just made. You are not the national secretary, this person is the national secretary. Those kind of declaratory judgments cannot be stayed. Naturally, nobody gives you a stay when you have a declaratory judgment.
Let's explain what they do, because a lot of non-legal minds who are watching tonight may be wondering, because this is largely a legal matter. Because Mr. Sam Oyanwu is standing on the legal ground, and his claim to the national secretaryship of the party is on the grounds that he has gone to appeal the matter at the Supreme Court. Because the matter is with the Supreme Court, he thinks and he claims that he remains the national secretary of the party. What is a declarative judgment? What does it portend? What does it mean?
Now, you see, when a court delivers a judgment, let me give you an example of a bank. If there is a judgment that says money should be paid to someone, or somebody should be given something, land or so, and the person appeals. Naturally, if he files, even if he just files an application for stay of injunction for execution at the higher court, that will operate as a stay. And the court, the Superior Court, will grant that application. One other issue is that the lower court, where the matter was heard, once the appeal has been entered, naturally, the lower court does not have jurisdiction to even listen to the application for stay of execution. That application can only be taken at the Superior Court, where the appeal has been lodged.
In the case of Sam Anyanwu,
yes,
has the Supreme Court entered into the matter?
No, the appeal has been entered.
Has been entered.
Yes, all the records have been transmitted.
So one will imagine that as the case of the entered, does it naturally mean that the judgment of the appeal court takes effect?
The judgment of the Court of Appeal is in effect. Nobody has stopped
immediately.
It. Yes. So once they deliver that judgment, it becomes operative. And there is a declaratory judgment.
There is no record whether Sam Anyanwu has gotten a stay of execution.
Well, I don't have it. Because the truth is that when the Court of Appeal in Enugu delivered its judgment, naturally, everybody involved in that case ought to comply with the orders of the court. You don't need any policeman coming to say, we are removing you. You don't need any court bailiff to come and say, get out of the office. No. Once you have been served with the judgment, you are under obligation to obey. Even if you are appealing. And if we are going to follow precedents, a person who wants the Supreme Court to exercise jurisdiction and give him judgment or favor him should be seen to be someone that respects the court, should be seen as someone who obeys court orders. We have not seen this in Senator Sam Anyanwu, because he has not just resisted, he has insulted people, he has gone forcefully to occupy the office after the judgment of the Court of Appeal. And I don't see how you expect any court to be friendly with you when you have shown a disdain, a disrespect, a complete disrespect of the orders of the Court of Appeal. This is the Court of Appeal, not even not a magistrate court, not a high court.
But have you heard what Senator Sam Anyanwu said?
Yes.
Have you heard what he said?
I heard it.
What do you make of his claims?
You see, obey first. It's not the military kind of obey before complain, no. But that is what it really is. If a judgment says this is what you should do, this is what you are, a judgment defines your status. So it says you are not the
so you think that whatever legal claims or legal stance Senator Sam Anyanwu is standing on is faulty? Is that what you're saying?
Completely faulty as far as I'm concerned, because you must display total respect and honor to the judiciary. You can't throw the judiciary under the bus and still expect that same judiciary to come and give you orders that you want. It doesn't work. And no father will be happy that his son goes to the beer parlor and insults him.
But let me ask you, is it fair? And there are people who have gone to run for office and return to their elective office as a as an executive or as an official of the party. Is it fair on Sam Anyanwu, who ran and lost, to come back and he has been removed, or his seat has been taken from him? Is it fair?
This constitution of the PDP is very clear on these matters. When you want to run for office, you are required in your form, the form you fill for the contest, you must indicate that you have resigned. And in fact, you attach your resignation letter from any other employment or engagement prior to the contest. And from very reliable source, Sam Anyanwu resigned. Sam Anyanwu resigned from his position and attached that to his form. And there is a caucus, the Southeast Caucus, made up of the governors, chairmen of the party from different states, and other party followers. They have a duty, when such a vacancy occurs, they have the duty to now sit and replace him, which they did in line with the constitution.
Let me hold on for a moment.
Yes.
Let's listen again to what Sam Anyanwu. For a moment, the man is not seated here, but it looks like his head has been shaved so many times in his absence, just like the BoT has done tonight. But say, remove him from the chair and put Ude Okoye there. Meanwhile, Sam Anyanwu is insisting on one thing. Take a listen to what he's saying.
Last December, precisely 20th of December, the appeal court in Enugu, they would take dissenting judgment, which a cause was awarded against the opponent in my favor. Meta said that they are affirming the judgment of the state high court in Enugu. But as a matter of fact, what the law says that I should appeal. I appeal the matter, appeal for stay of execution, and appeal to the Supreme Court. Obviously, what it means that the position remains as it is until determined by the Supreme Court. This party belongs to the people, not to an individual, not to a person, not to a group, but to the people. Because this is the only party that took power away from the military. And this party is in every family in Nigeria. So I always ask for our party faithfuls to be strong, to remain firm with the party, and let's work together. It's possible, 2027 is possible for us to get that presidency, which all of us have been suffering for. And that's why we're here anyway.
Mr. Jacob, I'd like you to respond to what he said. That is his stand, and that is the basis of his claim to that seat.
I pity him because, again, he's not a lawyer, and he's picking something that is not founded on law. I have said it, and it is established by several decisions of the Supreme Court, that the mere fact that you have filed an appeal does not operate as a stay, particularly in declaratory judgments. When it is a declaratory judgment where you are contesting either a chieftaincy or an election position and so on, that cannot operate as a stay. And his lawyers will tell him, if they have not told him, they are not fair to him.
Now, let's get to the decision or to the stance of the BoT today.
Yes.
The BoT is the conscience of the party.
Yes.
They lack, or they do not have so much of executive powers to act on behalf of the party. And there are those who will believe that whatever the BoT says is more in advisory. In fact, they are the conscience, they are the advisory of the party. There is an opinion they share today, isn't it?
No, it's a decision. It's just like having your board of directors in a company, and they take a decision.
But BoT is not a decision-making organ of the party.
The BoT, like you have rightly said, is the conscience of the party.
But it's not a decision.
Conscience, it is.
It's not a decision.
Under the Constitution,
if you check the Constitution right
they
there,
have advisory role. Yes. But
which is not binding.
No, it's very binding.
It's not binding.
Unless
check the Constitution. In the role and its statutory position, in the order of, in fact, in the order of things in your party, the Constitution is right there. And I know a bit much about what your party Constitution is all about.
Yes.
The BoT ranks very low in terms of executive decision of the party.
Well,
it's advisory.
That would be contradictory, because if you say you are the conscience of the party.
Advisory.
That is, you see, once you use that word conscience, you have heralded and placed the BoT above everybody.
So let me
except
I will relate it just a moment, sir. I will relate it just a moment, sir.
The decision-making organ of the party.
The National Economic Council,
yes,
as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, for example,
yes,
is so powerful because they are a political bloc where you have ministers, you have governors, you have even a vice president as a chair. But guess what? The Constitution says every decision they make is advisory to the president. The president is at the discretion whether to take it or not.
Yes.
The position, if you read the position and the duty, the statutory duty of the BoT in that Constitution there's no place where it says that the BoT has executive powers to take a decision on behalf of the party.
Now let me tell you, the difference between the National Economic Council and the BoT or the PDP is simple. All the members of the BoT are members of NEC. The decision-making bodies you are talking about. They are members of NEC.
But they are not the only members of NEC.
No, they are not the only members. And the powers exercised by NEC, the powers exercised by the NWC are strictly guided by the BoT. Only a reckless NWC will be at loggerheads with the Board of Trustees, because the Board of Trustees can take that constitution away from the NWC, because they are the custodians of the
So let me ask you this, Mr. Jacob.
Yes.
And a final note, this is not only a constitutional or legal matter, this is highly political. And we know that even the blind could see that what is happening in the PDP is largely political. And there are sides to this matter.
Oh, sure.
And it does look like the BoT, as constituted today, as a side, they've taken sides. And it does look like it is the side of Atiku Abubakar, for example. Just a moment, because a lot of people are of the opinion that Sam Anyanwu is a weakest man. In your own thinking, I mean, you've spent a lot of years in the party. What do you think is a permanent solution and a way forward, a permanent fix for your party? Just in about 30 seconds. So
for me, if I had a position to declare, I would ask that the entire NWC be dissolved. Right
but their tenure is in July.
No,
so.
The political party has a duty and a right to cure ailments.
But does
like what we have now.
The BoT has the power to dissolve
the BoT with the consent and the help of NEC can do that.
Advise the NEC and NEC will ratify.
Yes.
But unfortunately, those who will call for the NEC meeting at the NWC, unfortunately, will they constitute a NEC that will dissolve them?
Happily
is that politically possible?
No, they have called for NEC meeting and they are under obligation to call for NEC. They cannot run the
and
party.
They will determine the agenda.
Yes, but on the floor of the NEC, anything can happen, because they cannot stop people from expressing themselves.
So that the BoT, that for you is a way
the BoT, the governors form the bulk of the NEC, and even other members of NEC are nominees, either of the BoT or the governors. So you cannot run away from the power of NEC to solve this problem.
All right.
And that's why Sam Anyanwu and co. have refused to call NEC since last year. That is it.
Mark Jacobs, thank you so much. A former legal advisor of the People's Democratic Party. Thanks so much indeed for coming tonight.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you again.
For having me.
I wish you and your party a peace does not look like something that is related to your party. When you mention PDP, you can't mention peace in the same sentence.